There was once an old man who kept a letter in his pocket for 40 years. It was a letter he had written to his brother after a very heated argument, but he never sent it. Every time he wanted to post it, something held him back, either his ego, or his fear, or his pain. His brother passed away unexpectedly, and the letter remained unsent. The words meant to heal were never heard. How many of us are carrying unsent letters in our hearts? Unfinished apologies, unspoken forgiveness, unhealed wounds. We live with relationships that remain unresolved, thinking there will always be another time. But what if there isn't? Do you know, in the first century, Roman prisons had no release date. You remained in prison until your debt was fully paid or someone else paid it for you. This is why Jesus says in Matthew 5, settle matters quickly, or you will not get out until you have paid the last penny. Unforgiveness is like a prison sentence. We stay trapped until we let go. So very quickly I would like to say 3 points from 3 different passages. Number 1, from Genesis 33 verses 1 to 10. Reconciliation is the hardest battle. Reconciliation is the hardest battle. So here Jacob had deceived Esau. He had stolen his blessing and fled. Years later, he saw Esau approaching with 400 men. Jacob's heart pounded. Would this be his death? Would his brother finally take revenge? But what happened? Esau ran to him. No weapons, no anger, only an embrace. Tears replaced years of silence. Jacob had spent like decades running from Esau. But reconciliation doesn't happen by running. It happens by returning. How many of us are still running? We avoid certain phone calls, we change routes to avoid people, we sit in separate benches at church. But avoidance is not forgiveness. Silence is not healing. Reconciliation is not about ignoring the pain. It is about embracing the grace. So let us think, who is your Esau? Who are you still running from? Secondly, from Matthew 5 verses 21 to 26, the prison of unforgiveness. The prison of unforgiveness. Jesus warns that anger is a slow poison, killing the soul before it ever kills the body. We think murder is about weapons, but some people murder with silence. Some attack not with fist, but with words. An insult is enough to damage a soul. A grudge is a debt that only grows. Unforgiveness is like a prison where you are both the captor and the captive. We wait for an apology, we wait for them to change, and while we wait, time takes them away. Jesus doesn't say, reconcile when you feel like it. He says, do it now. Because when you stand before the God, He will not ask, did they deserve your forgiveness? He will ask, did you forgive as I forgave you? Lastly, let us consider from Ephesians chapter 2, verses 13 to 22. The cross, where enemies became family. The cross, where enemies became family. We were not just lost, we were God's enemies. Why do I say so? We rejected Him, betrayed Him, nailed Him to a cross. But did Jesus wait for an apology? No. Did He wait for us to deserve forgiveness? No. He forgave first. Some of us kneel at the cross begging for the mercy of God while refusing to show mercy to others. How can we ask for grace while denying it to others? How can we receive forgiveness when we refuse to give it? Jesus does not reconcile with us after the resurrection. He reconciles with the bleeding on the cross. So why are we still waiting? Shubhakono is today. Reconciliation is now. Lent is not about giving up chocolates while holding on to bitterness. It is about fasting from food while feasting on resentment. If there is one conversation you need to have it today. If there is one call you need to make it now. If there is one hug that needs to happen, do not wait. Because the saddest words in life are, I was too late. So my dear friends, let's not be too late. Let's do this now. Because Shubhakono is today.